Now, once these guys got word that you're testifying against them, your life is now in danger.
Correct.
Was there any hits on you that you knew about?
None that I know of.
Well, ultimately, once the trials were over, and were you facing any prison time yourself, or was it since you weren't under investigation, whatever you were telling them, I guess it was like a proffer agreement where it can't be used against you, right?
Well, that's not true. When I walked in, I had no cases, no jail time. Obviously, I was out on the street. I had no secret indictments. I wasn't under any investigation. The agents knew who I was, but had nothing on me. As you start speaking with them, if you mention crimes that you were involved in, you will be charged. And I was ultimately charged with every crime that we spoke about. I was charged. And basically, even the assistant U.S. attorney had told the judge he basically gave himself all these charges, and I was ultimately charged with everything that I spoke about.
Okay, and what were all those charges?
It was all bunched together under a RICO. So I was charged with RICO.
So you were charged with RICO.
Correct.
But were you convicted of any RICO charges or had to go to trial or anything?
I pled guilty to it. I pled guilty to the indictment.
So pleading guilty to the indictment, but you had all this cooperation to go along with it.
Correct.
Were you given any penalty?
I was sentenced. What happens is that if you hold up to your agreement, right, and part of that is if we call you, you must go to trial and everything else, and you got to keep your nose clean, you can't get in trouble, you could receive what's called a 5K letter, and that comes from the U.S. Attorney's Office. And in that letter is a breakdown of what you did and, going with trials you went to and what the ultimate verdicts were in that trial and whatnot. And at that point, it's a judge's decision. It's not, no one's ever told me, hey, we're going to charge you with these things and you're going to walk, ever. Not a lawyer, because I had a lawyer, and not an FBI agent, not a U.S. attorney, nobody. It's up to the judge at that point. So I did get sentenced and I did go before the judge. And, we get a chance to speak, my lawyer and myself. And then the U.S. attorney, the assistant U.S. attorney gets a chance to speak. And his letter is ultimately before that judge. And the judge reads it. And they make a determination based on all of the factors. And one of the biggest things, like my lawyer told me that I had going for me, he said, look, out of the 99.9 cooperators, they all were facing time. They were all in prison. They were all trying to get out of something. Whereas yourself, you had nothing. There was nothing on you. So you basically gave yourself these charges. Was I guilty of the charges? Absolutely. But the FBI and the U.S. attorney admitted to the judge, without me speaking about that, they didn't know about these charges against me. They didn't know. They didn't have me. And, that's a big, big factor in a judge's decision. And ultimately, he sentenced me to 5 years supervised release. And that was my sentence. So it's like 5 years of parole.
Got it. And what year was that sentencing?
Recently, this year.
Okay, so you just got sentenced.
I just got sentenced.
At the point you got sentenced, did the FBI protection stop?
It did not.
So you still are protected by the FBI?
Correct.
How extensive is this protection? Like, are they here with you today?
I can't say.
You can't say?
I can't say.
Okay. Was there ever a point that you felt like your life was in danger since then?
A lot has went on, and I think that every day your life should you should look at it that every day your life's in danger. The difference between myself and a lot of other people, I'm very aware of my surroundings. I'm very, very careful. And the guys in the street know that about me. I was a very careful guy. They use the term paranoid, but paranoia saves lives.